Okay, this is your usual right policy update. I shall try and get it over with as quickly as possible. Okay. Right, so it's a brief overview of the current proposals in the policy development process, which, as you know, is the process by which policy is developed in the right region and other regions as well, of course. And this affects you all, potentially, so sit up and take notice. Right, we've got three proposals that are currently flying. Number one, which is in the discussion phase, is 2018-02, which is assignment clarification on IPv6 policy. I'm sure that all of you remember 2016-04, which was the interminable discussion over what an assignment was and whether a /64 IPv6 assignment was whether it was an assignment or not an assignment. And the IETF said that you weren't allowed to assign a /64 to, for example, a direct link. But on the other hand, the RIPE NCC said that if you assigned more than a /64, it was an assignment and not an allocation, or vice versa. I can't remember which. And so there were policy issues involved. Okay, and that was all put to bed with 2016-04, which has just been approved. And then on top of that, the IETF just changed its standards. So a /64 can actually now be assigned to a single device, quite legally. So all of that discussion and so forth that's taken 2 years to sort out is a bit moot, really. Anyway, 2018-02 is basically trying to clarify things with relationship to the latest IETF changes. So, and it basically says that you can provide up to a /64 prefix and not consider it to be a sub-assignment. Okay, so it means you can set up a Wi-Fi hotspot, and you don't have to actually allocate the addresses. They can all be assigned, and everything's lovely. Okay, given that people are suffering from battle fatigue still from 2016-04, this hasn't actually raised a great deal of discussion, and the proposer is currently working on a new version anyway. So, right. 2018-03 is in last call. This is fixing outdated information in the IPv4 policy. Basically, RIPE policy documents or operational documents tend to acquire detritus over time, and this particular document, which is IPv4 address allocation and assignment policies for the RIPE NCC service region, a nice snappy title there, has acquired detritus in the form of RFCs that have been superseded. So this policy proposal removes those references. And also, there are a couple of assignment states which have also been removed from the way RIPE NCC assigns stuff. Okay, so that's all being removed. So this is just documentation fixing. PDP clarification is in last call as well. This is a clarification of the way the PDP process itself works. Basically, in the final stage of a policy development process, of the policy being developed, there's the review phase. And by the time you get to the review phase, people are so fed up with things that they tend to not comment. So what tends to happen is that you run for 4 weeks in the review phase, and nobody makes a comment. And so the working group chair says, guys, somebody needs to say, yes, we still approve of this. And you run the review phase on for another 4 weeks or so, and eventually enough people say yes that he can decide that consensus has been declared. However, this is strictly speaking not the way the policy development process says you should do things, and so this is modified policy development process that says you can extend the review period if you wish. Yes, okay. Right. Policies that have been accepted since the last time I was up here boring you is the regular abuse C validation. Remember, there was a policy proposal that abuse C contacts should actually be validated periodically. Well, this This policy has been accepted, and the RIPE NCC has started various processes for trying to validate abuse contacts. The first one of which is looking at them and seeing if they look like a valid email address for a start. And that process is rolling forward. Organizational LIR clarification in IPv6 policy. This was a badly written policy in the first place, and it confused organizations and LIRs. So somebody has gone through and tidied up the organization LIR words. Okay, so that all this has done is tidied things up. The waves are really washing around the deck chairs at the moment. Upcoming proposals. Preparations for final IPv4 exhaustion. You may have noticed that we're running out of IPv4 addresses. It looks like we will run out completely in about 2 years. And as things stand, the current policies don't have any clear statement as to what's going to happen when the address space runs out absolutely and completely. So people are starting to put together some proposals on what to do when it really runs out. And finally, people have also started talking yet again about improving the data accuracy in the RIPE database. And there's a little bit of email traffic kicking around on that. So improving accuracy of root objects or organization objects or so forth. Nothing has been formally put forward yet, but it no doubt will. And that's it. Questions? Was that a question? No. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks very much, Nigel.